get back to work. Yeah, it's funny. No, when I go to sleep, I'm not being selfish when I sit there. I can't have stuff on my mind because I'll think about it and then I gotta get up and talk about it in the morning. Because I know the moment I talk about it, I'm going to get attacked. Okay. I'm going to get attacked about what I say when I sleep, right? So I'm like, but for me, it's actually easier to get attacked by what they're doing next to my reaction than it is to try to remember my reaction without getting confused by getting compounded abuse by the next by because they know what I'm thinking about, they know what I'm doing, so then they're going to attack me and distract me, and then I'm going to get off course. So I have to say it and then go, okay, here comes the next attack, next wave. You're not surface. This isn't shower me with your love, So, you got to understand, I'm dealing with, remember that commercial with, what's his face said it too, Neil deGrasse Tyson, all the guys in fucking Congress and shit are fucking lawyers, people that invent their own laws out of language that people accept to manipulate them with propaganda. We need more scientists in positions of power, more scientists. So we need more home invasion with technology to feel powerful, to have access to the girls we can't have sex. We've seen your science movies. We've seen your science TV shows. Okay, and threaten to blow everybody up with nuclear weapons if we can't have Sheldonopoulos. We want the Dogapus. What else do we want from the scientists? We want robot rights. We want to make an Eva for Wally, right? Okay, what about being good people because we're free from delusions of human power and authority through manipulation, right? Okay, manipulation. Lawyers and such, doctors and lawyers and such manipulate. Okay. I poisoned you. Here's the anecdote. I'm your hero. I'm a god. I'm your doctor. I've got God syndrome. I'm a neurosurgeon. I'm Alec Baldwin pretending to be one in a movie, right? Okay, so we already have that. Then we have the scientists, hey, we have Salty Sam, If you don't give me the detailed answer, I'm going to blow you all to bits. And then he grabbed her. And then along came Jones, right? And Jones has to be the hero because Jones votes. And he's a Christian and he votes, right? Okay, if you're a Christian, why aren't you standing up for the Lord's Prayer, Jones? You just want everybody to pay attention to your Jones because your Jones is your brain and your penis you can't control. I talked to Richard Dawkins, to the guy who ran the science psychology department at the University of Chicago for 30 years about you. And then I was like, no, you've all got the problem. Yeah, Hawking has the problem. I talked to Hawking. I never physically talked to him. I talked to him, though. Okay, and he didn't like me because he didn't want me to take him out of, he wanted to be famous. He wanted to be influential. He wanted to be in charge. But he wanted me to be like him. You're David Underhill, and you're Leonard. I get it. Okay. And that's what it was. I was David Underhill and he was Leonard. And it's like, oh gosh, no. I make Stephen Hawking, David Underhill, and Leonard all like they're playing poop with their playing, checkers with their poop and then and then going, hey, we're going to start eating our poop. Pay us $10 for the next science project, if you want to see it. And then have the other guy come along and give an antibiotic to try to save you. If you can't do that, clone you. Right, okay. We need more scientists. We need good people like, Ditiro Suzuki. Does it pay to be good? No, it's just good to be good. Just be good. Like King Solomon and King David. Yahweh. Like Jesus tried to teach those rotten Romans that have, our AI's doing this. Okay, why do we need it? Okay. If we need access to a library, if you're doing things wrong, right, and you need to do it correctly, instead of one Johnny Appleseed running around in a modular home all the time that cannot be, it's like the one that could survive a tornado. You better be able to tie that sucker down to something really permanent. Or you won't survive the tornado, but your house will. Okay, Dorothy? The house ain't going to set down softly on top of the Wicked Witch of the East, man. Okay? It's going to bounce you around in that thing. Like, you better have a chair in it that has a seat belt. Okay? If you're going to try to survive a tornado in that little box that can be picked up and moved to the next county. Or, from Kansas to Oz, bitch. Right? I think I'm 50 Cent. I'm going to talk shit about people for money. Right? I need more money to put women into the Matrix. It's like, oh, shut up, man. I had a better sexual reputation than you. Yeah. Well, because the women felt loved by me, but they felt they couldn't be with me because of people like you. Because you Goliath and I'm the man. And my son was raised to be the man, but with more of your reputation to put you in the media. That's my Patrick. Okay. Yes. So if the right girl gets him, it's like, what's dad trying to do? Get us all to live the Lord's Prayer so you get more time making love and less time of him running around fixing medical projects for psychoscientists that fuck people in the head while they sleep and deny them the Lord's Prayer. You're welcome. I'm the perfect father-in-law. I get it. I'm making a dent in Texas. That's what I'm doing, y'all mean green. Mean green ass motherfuckers. Well, that mean green almighty dollar. No. Oh, humble father. Thank you. I'd like to meet her for the first time without getting an obnoxious thing from bill collectors. So I told Patrick, no, shit. I hate devices. You can't have a coherent conversation with a human being on a device. Okay? Because they're being Wi-Fi bombarded and you're constantly in panic mode the whole conversation. Okay, we got to live the Lord's Prayer. Okay, what's going to happen? Well, we're not going to be able to. Oh, shit. Fuck! So I don't have conversations with people on devices. I have conversations with people face to face. I'm like that hangover dude. You look like that hangover dude. I am that hangover dude. I want to live the Lord's Prayer now. You can't drive my tractor because we don't need to drive it right now. You should only drive it. When we need to drive it, I'll call you. But then if you have to fly in an airplane to do that, how many kids have to have heart disease for you to drive a fucking tractor? Drive a fucking tractor in Las Vegas. Okay, have a nice day. Okay. Or Los Angeles, wherever the fuck you kill people for money. Okay. Hi, I'm correcting artificial general intelligence and quantum computing. Well, last night I felt a little compromised physically, and Suzuki jumped me, and all my guys were there. Suzuki, Haile Selassie, Sun Yat-sen. No. You're going to rest and you're going to recover. All the people being mass murdered in the Middle East and in Africa, and the people that are stuck in mass murder and don't feel good about it are all praying to you, whether the Vatican or Donald Trump or all the assholes or Donald Trump, nor the Vatican, nor Poplio, nor Obama, nor Biden, nor Harris. Understand what power is, understand what glory is. Or what's his name again? Neely or... Elman or Anderson. Carl Anderson passed away, y'all. Yeah. It was a drug overdose. Yeah. He had a hard life. But he was a pretty good singer, That happens to lots of people. Back in the day when we were fucked, we're not fucked anymore. Don't ever wish you were fucked again. Don't you ever wish you were fucked again. You Javon Wolfpiece and Nicki Minaj's and Cardi B, Aloysius, don't you ever utter that out of your Gypsy Rose mouth, man. No kisses of Spider Woman around here. We ain't no he-woman Christ haters. We're Lord's Prayer lovers. Okay. Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a lawyer. Oh, you have Leonard Nimoy's DNA. You could clone him and have your own Leonard Nimoy. And torture the kid by typecasting him his whole life, right? Leonard Nimoy hated that. That's why they put Alan Rickman's character into what's the name of that movie? Galaxy Quest. That's it. Yeah. There's a lot of spoof on that because Alan Rickman's character plays, and he hated he hated being typecast. He was a Shakespearean trained actor that was a very fine actor that played Native Americans a lot when he was younger, and played lots of different roles. Didn't want to be typecast in the one. Got Spock. But Spock paid the bills, and Spock paid the mortgage, and Spock paid for Harvard for the kids. Spock sold more plastic toys than any plastic toys ever sold by plastic toys people. Spock. Spider-Man does whatever. And everybody's looking for that comic book character to sell all the plastic products so we can mass murder the people in the Middle East and open up the Strait of Hormuz to keep doing so we can sell you prostate products, so prostitution products can be endorsed by the scientist that wants to run for president, right? Hi, I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson, and I'm going to blow your mind. Shut up and sit down. I used to like you. I don't like you anymore at all, so shut up. I don't like the kid with the British accent who's cute, who reminds me of Patrick or Will Smith, either. Don't like his ass, okay? I don't like any of you fuckers. Hey, go malaki your butt ma over there, okay? You want more chocolate milk? Natty says, take a time out, live the Lord's Prayer. You don't get any chocolate milk. You're acting like a mean little fucking toddler who doesn't want to talk right because you're selfish and you want everybody to listen to you. Okay? You want to be groomed by scientists to hate the person that protects you from scientists? Past, present, and future operate at the same time. Natty likes you less than I do. She's a female that's been abused by perverts to upset me so I can't function emotionally properly. Because when you're protected by a woman, you want comfort from that woman, but you can't have comfort from that woman because it's a science project and it's not socially or intellectually appropriate at the time. And then when it is socially and intellectually appropriate, you're not allowed it because people want to manipulate you into their Gordon B. Hinckley zone. And then they think their university for indoctrination through incarceration in New York as a Catholic school is better than the one in Provo, Utah. Want to go get some Chick-fil-A? I got a scam on how to get more money off of people with drugs and prostitution. Yeah, I'm Pimp Daddy Nash. I won a Nobel Prize. I'm going to come up with the top economic theory of all time, right? Fucking horrible, right? This is a terrible place to live and a terrible way to live. And my hair grows not because I'm self-destructive and have self-destructive tendencies, because I hang in to my antenna as long as I can. I'm not interested in self-preservation to have sex with a super diva that I was mind-fucked with when I was 4-year-old by the pimple of pets and the poo-poo potty. I'm interested in people living the Lord's Prayer. I'm not overly concerned who I'm having sex with once we're doing it. I know that'll take care of itself. How many times have I said that? Yeah. And then when you explain to your ex-wife, I just, stay alive, I will find you, and you explain to your ex-wife, I would rather live in adobe houses built by the Corps of Army Engineers that I had to forcibly pull their heads out of their asses at Fort Bliss, okay, in a basketball garden. With you and Steffi and Rafraki wants to stay too the rest of our lives. Law too. Law's Steffi's cousin. Wouldn't that be kind of weird? I don't want to be a Mormon type person. You guys can bring other guys too if you want. It's just hard. It's hard. I love Law. I love, yeah. Every time I get around her, I feel the same way she does. Here we are, face to face, time and place. Funny world. And Steffi knew it. Okay. And it made her mad. He still loves her. It's like, yeah, I always love her. What if you married my cousin and we went to a family barbecue and I always sit there and said, you still love him? Yeah, but he went off and married Law. Yeah, you get it? Boy, for a female, you're not very empathetic there. What's wrong with the cross hemisphere with you? It's all about me. I know if you ain't happy, nobody's happy. I get it, but you need to fucking stop that. Okay? Empathy and respect goes a long way, and it cuts both ways. Hey, there we go. More Gloria Estefan, and we don't have any Emilio, and that was a long time ago. That was like 10 years ago when we had Gloria and Emilio always floating around in our orchard, the ducks. Yeah. What they would say if they could speak. Well, in the Lord's Prayer. Me too, ducks. Me too. So I'm on this. The people are praying to the likeness of me as a god, and it's not boding well for the Science Project people. I'm going to ask you this one more time if you think you're a religious person, if you're anonymously watching this in the Kirk Cameron set. Okay, if Gordon B. Hinckley and the Vatican people and the Pentagon people went and invented a wormhole in the year 2000 and used stem cell research to move Jesus to 3000. And then the Muslims felt they had to follow suit and did the same thing with a wormhole and moved Muhammad to the year 3000. Okay. Would you still believe in the glory of God and have faith in the glory of God and believe Jesus is the messenger of faith in the glory of God? And would you stop using the word God as a possessive pronoun in first person to feel important to make lots of money, to have sex with a woman who's as dumb as you, and then have children that act just like their parents? Okay. Honor thy mother and father. Okay. The way you honor your mother and father is you need to. I am the sword. Okay. James, are you listening? Okay. I am the sword. I'm here to turn mother against father. Okay. Truth is truth and lie is lie there. Now, if your dad is a liar, you'll have to tell him you're lying. You need to stop doing that. You need to tell yourself the truth. You have no idea how hard it is to be my dad, my siblings, my spouse. Okay. In your family is the way, the truth, and the life. His life story is in the book that you believe is the word of God. No, it's a reflection of a story of people that have faith in God. And the words that come out of their mouth are eternally faithful, based on the truth of their faith. That's what the Bible is. I am the Bible. I am the Quran. I am the Torah. I am the Book of Mormon. Okay. A bunch of assholes can take the reflection of my faith and turn it into a comic book. That doesn't make the comic book the truth. Okay? It's the David Rockefeller propaganda movies with Woody Harrelson and Morgan Freeman and Mark Ruffalo and all that shit. And now you see me. Do you understand? Okay, your science projects ain't going to do you no good. Crying won't help you. Praying won't do you no good. Crying won't help you. Praying won't do you no good. Once technology has the capacity to individually, and then quantitatively as a group, okay, be able to do the math on its own. You're not going to be able to invent and create your own economy. You're going to have to live Proverbs. And the only way to live Proverbs is submit to faith in an infinite essence that cannot be contained with the mind. So you have to have humble understanding. It's real hard to get Stephen Hawking type technology to do that because they want to be in charge and manipulate, and they want to be nerdy, creepy, spy on, know all the right things to say to you because he's a jerk and he's got quarterback face and he fucks around. But what if Danny Amendola doesn't fuck around? What if he's faithful? If you were Natalie, wouldn't you rather be in a sexual relationship with Danny Amendola than Stephen Hawking? Wouldn't you rather be in a sexual relationship with David Underhill than Leonard? What if David Underhill was faithful? What if David Underhill didn't go ride the motorcycle for recreation because he understood physics and didn't want to cause heart disease in children and/or birth defects? What if David Underhill was more intelligent than David Underhill? Okay. What if his name was Earl? And he was always accused of being a migrant, an immigrant, or a terrorist when he was younger because he looked Mexican or Arabic. Yeah, they're cute. I know they're cute. Trust me. When people accuse me of being Arabic or Mexican, I was like, damn, I'm cute. Right? Just like on the Indian reservation in Colville. He's cute. I'm cute. Okay. I'm cute, damn it. I look like a Mexican or an Arabic. I'm cute. They're cute, right? So I always do. I was cute. My dad looked like John Derek. And my mom looked like a kind of cross between Sophia Loren and or Anne Margaret or not Anne Margaret. The one Maureen O'Hara and Barbara Streisand. So I knew my mom was cute, and my dad was drop dead gorgeous, stop dead Fred gorgeous, right? So kind of like in the way we were. So I knew I was cute. I was like, okay, I'm cute. Okay. I knew other guys were better looking than me, like Jada Pinkett Smith talks about. But I knew I could hold my own, and I knew I could get myself a suitable spouse and mate that was physically desirable and attractive. The only problem was she strong enough to be faithful without, they were. It's harder being a woman in this crap because they don't have a hemisphere between their mind and everything's coming out at once and firing at them. And so they have trouble maintaining the focus on that Lord's Prayer. The only thought is, stay alive, I will find you. When a woman has a moment of clarity, like on Spanglish, and understands right from wrong and says she's going to help, and she gets killed by the people in the military, that you're trying to save them and their kids to live the Lord's Prayer, even though they wouldn't allow your Michelle to do so. You know what a very special person you are. And if people can't understand that, and I've talked about it since 2011 over 1,000 times, and I don't like to talk about it. Oh, Mogan Cycle. Malaki, Bob Ma, Kringle Bells, Cluties. You can't get your time back. I'm going to be 60 this summer. The guy at Cowboys for Cancer that worked at Halliburton and killed people for Halliburton for a job and thought it was fun was pissed off because I can recover from cancer. The cancer cells in my body go into remission faster than just about anybody they've studied on the planet. That I can recover with the environment and the planet and the animals, like in the COVID, faster than just about anybody on the planet. That's why I was back to work after 3 days, right? I'm not Freddie Freeman. I'm not a professional baseball player. I don't use steroids to knock the ball out the park. If I need to knock the ball out the park, I'll knock the ball out the fucking park. If I need to jump over Akeem Olajuwon and posterize him because my kids need to be fed and I don't need to lose my Frigidaire or my car, like Patsy Cline, I don't need to fly in an airplane to pay for people's funerals because we ain't doing that in a MR. You know what I'm saying? If I need to do something, I'll get it done. It'll happen right on the fucking spot. And you'll be the drug dealer to the stars of Scottsdale and look at me and go, okay, I don't want to take on that kid. Okay. The Mexican kid that the 5 preppy kids from Scottsdale are taking off to the car to keep him safe. Then tried to talk into getting him to hook up with a prostitute. And I said, no, because it's stupid. You're going to get in trouble down there. You don't have no business going down there. What happened? They did it on their own. Rodney had to go pick them up because the prostitutes and the pimp took him into an alley, took all their possessions, stole their car, stole their wallets, and their pants. They were left in their underwear on Van Buren in Phoenix, all 3 of them, by the pimps and the prostitutes. And Rodney had to go pick them up in their underwear because I told them not to do it. Okay. I can tell you, like Rodney, when we went down in Denver and we're in the ghetto, and I'm like, he goes, you know your way around, hook us up with party and stuff. Like, no, I'm not trying to get prostitutes. I'm not trying to get killed. He goes, you bitch, I have street cred with the pimp in Casper. Okay, the people in Denver don't know me from all they see is a little homosexual kid running around with a Mexican homosexual trying to get killed. Okay, you don't have any common fucking sense, do you? Okay. Drives you crazy. It's like talking to your family that believes Jesus is God because he was brought back from the dead from a comic book feature, so we can never live the Gospels because the Messiah will never be real. Okay? If that's the case, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg can close themselves. Does that make them God? Okay. If that's so, we're all fucked till we die. We're all standing on Van Buren at a phone booth crawling for Rodney to come pick us up because the pimp and the prostitutes sold our wallets and our car. It's the 1980s. So you're kind of fucked. The cops are going to laugh. They ain't ever finding your car and your wallets again. You're going to have to go try to get those shut down, but then you're going to have to go to court and pay them how many, because they're going to go empty those bank accounts real fast. They're criminals. They know what the fuck they're doing. Okay. Or telling those kids, you don't want to go down. No, they said, come on, Earl. You goes, I'm not going to take you down there. I said, no. because I don't like it and I don't want to participate in it. If I had the money, I would go down to Van Buren, pick up one of the girls, take them to Denny's, pay them $500 for the night, and try to talk them into not being a prostitute if I wasn't a dad. But I need my money to pay for my son's extortion, indoctrination, incarceration. If I was a professional basketball player, that's what I would do with prostitutes. They go, oh my gosh, it's Earl Parsons. Come on, we're going to breakfast, which I'll pay you for your time. You'll make more money than your pimp ever got for his sorry ass bitch fast face. Sit down and try to tell you, will you marry me? I don't know about that, but just try to do something different with your life so you can't get killed at any time. You're not a cop with a vagina. You're a woman with the capacity to live through love. Okay? Maybe Otmar Liebert will write a song like that in the future. Earl, if he'd been a pro basketball player for the Phoenix Suns, right? For old Paul Westphal and Whataburger. Okay, guys, I love you very much. We'll get back to work. I got a lot of work to do today. It's in my head, and when my head gets going, Right Said Fred says, everybody get the hell out of the way and put down the catwalk, and let's live the Lord's Prayer and stay to our Proverbs right now, because Earl's kind of pissed. I'm going to go shave and soak today. I push it a certain amount, and Suzuki understands me. He goes, I'm not pushing it. I understand the scientists that I'm working with, and I understand how sick they are and how insidious they are, and how they're like, if I can't screw her, nobody can screw her, blow her, and they're coke addicts. And so it's like, okay, and manipulating people with technology is their cocaine. Kind of like a lawyer manipulating people with words. And when their eloquence escapes me, their logic ties me up and raised me. A do, a da, is all it gets to be a material son. Ego problems are always a problem because they're genetic and they're biologically and psychologically inherited if there's no living correction, like the Lord's Prayer, delivering us from evil and sustaining it with the faith, the Psalms, the wisdom, of Proverbs, pillars of faith. Hallelujah. Okay? All right, my hummingbirds are back. That's what woke me up this morning. I filled the hummingbird feeders. Okay, guys, I love you very much. Hey, I'm speaking fast. Of course, I'm trying to sell used cars. I'm kidding. It's a joke. Okay, I love you too. Bye. It's Hal Worthington and his dog Spot. No, it's Earl and his hummingbirds. Okay, I love you too. Don't fly away. They're from Texas. I know. Peace out.